Hello and welcome to a not so awesome review, and today we are looking at the Legacy Collection White Ranger by Bandai. Limited edition though, take that as you will. I mean, we've had other limited edition Power Ranger stuff in the past from Bandai that says, hey, this is limited edition. A few years later, hey, re-releasing it. Anyways, yeah, quick look at the box. Really nothing to say. If you've seen any of these Power Rangers figures before, you know what the box looks like. These are the figures out in this wave. Yellow Ranger, picked that up today along with this White Ranger, and I'm planning on getting the rest of the Space ones. This is one of the only action figure series I'm actually kind of wanting to get every figure that comes out. Don't get me wrong, there are some Power Ranger seasons that I actually haven't seen, and some that I didn't like. I might still pick them up anyway once we get to them. But anyways, for today we are looking at the White Ranger, which completes the Mighty Morphin line, along with the Yellow Ranger. Haven't reviewed one of these, though I do have all the other ones. And I want to note that I tried doing this review earlier, but my camera kind of died in between waiting to do it. I kind of fixed a little bit of what I was trying to do. I kind of just realized that right now. But yeah, I added a little bit of black panel lining to the belt. It was just pure gold and it was bugging me. So while I was waiting for the camera to charge, I kind of did that without kind of really thinking about, oh, maybe I should leave it before I did a review. And I added a little bit of black around the edge here. Otherwise, that's usually completely gold. I probably should go over it one more time. But yeah, it really does help kind of make the figure pop more. I'm actually looking at it through the lens, and it really helps the chest piece look a lot better. Because when it was just pure gold, it didn't look right to me. It felt really cheap. Now it looks a little bit better, honestly. But yeah, let's talk about the molding on this guy before we get to anything else. And we'll start with the head sculpt because it is a really good head sculpt. It looks awesome. All of the Rangers that have come out so far have an awesome head sculpt. The only thing I feel like, he's kind of tilting to the left a little bit, or, you know, and that's kind of the same thing with my Red Ranger. I don't know what that's about, if it's just the way he's packaged, that his head was leaning one direction a little too much. But I'm not a big fan of the ball peg in the heads of the Rangers. They're not that great. I mean, you can't really look up at all. You can look down and you can look left and right, but it doesn't have any pivot or anything. And I really wish they would fix that. That would make these figures mostly perfect. Honestly, before I even get into it, if you're not planning on picking up any of the figure arts, get this figure. Just straight up get this figure. It's a good figure. I mean, get as many of these as you can while you can, because they probably will go out of production at some point. It does say limited edition, though. I'm sure in the future we'll get more. I know we're getting a re-release, kind of a re-release, I should say, of the Red Ranger, Yellow Ranger, and all of them. But they're going to be in their kind of like more shiny form that they had in season, I want to say that was season 2 or 3, when they had right before the Ninja Powers or right after the Ninja Powers. I'm not really sure. They had like a glimmery suit, and from my understanding is we're going to be getting the Rangers with the glimmery suit, but minus the Build-A-Figure pieces, and in their place we're getting the weapons, which is cool and bad, and I'll talk about more about that later. But let's get on with the molding here. First, the sword, which is his one exclusive accessory. The sword that you would expect him to come with. Yeah, but it is done really well. I mean, we have detailing here on the blade itself that looks good. The gold on it is painted really nice. The tiger symbol on both sides is awesome, and even the head sculpt of Saba himself looks really, really good. So, no complaints on that. There is a little bit of a slit on, or a full slit, I should say, on the little holster here that does come off, by the way, but it fits on way better. I know the Pink Ranger one, on mine anyway, falls off really easy. This one stays in really good, but yeah, there's a slit there, so you can kind of just put it in really easily, and his arm is getting in the way, so not that easily, but you can just slide it in, no problem, and it will stay, so not falling out, so that's good. No complaints there. The vest is a soft plastic, and I don't really like it. If you have the Green Ranger, it's more or less the same plastic on there, just, I don't know, I want to say this one's a little bit more soft. You can see I have a little bit of a dent here, and I think that's from actually the packaging from when it was in, like, that piece of plastic pushing down on there. And there's even a small dent there. I don't know if you can actually see these on camera, but right there. And it's kind of the plastic that if you kind of push your fingernail into it, it will get a dent and it won't come out. And that's kind of disappointing, so you want to be careful with that. It is molded in gold, painted black on the front and the back here. You can kind of see where the paint didn't come out perfect on there. Same thing for the boots, molded in gold and then painted black stripes. And same thing with these, I guess, gauntlets. Are they gauntlets? Arm pieces, whatever you want to call them. Painted black. So the black is mostly good. Not really much to complain about. Just a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of missing and stuff. But otherwise, the paint is done really well. Like I said, I did add the black line on the belt, so it pops a lot more. And it's actually how it should be in the show, along with the circle on the chest around the tiger symbol. That should also be black. That's why I painted it in. Otherwise, the mold is really good. It's the same body, pretty much, as the other Rangers. You can even lift it up and you can see the kind of diamond shape where they would color in the, or I guess they would leave that white and color in the rest, depending. I don't know. I'm going to say they painted white. This one was molded in white, but I think the other Rangers were actually molded in the color. I'm not actually 100% sure, but either way, you can see that it is the same body, with a few differences. Obviously, the chest piece, the belt, the arms, and then the legs. Saba actually just fell off. That was from my arm, though, not from it falling. The test showed it doesn't fall. But yeah, the legs here are different. Pretty much from here to here, we have this line that the other Rangers don't have. Yeah, it is a really good looking figure. Articulation wise, I already showed you the head. It's not my favorite. I think it's kind of strange that they did a better job with the head on the Megazord, which I'll show, and I'm going to do a separate review on it later. But yeah, the ball joint on the head actually, it pivots. It doesn't look down and up too much, but it could. It's just things get in the way. The plastic is getting in the way. But if they have done that with the Rangers, I think they would have been perfect. So they know how to do it. They just didn't, and it's kind of weird. But anyways, aside from that, he does have an ab crunch. And you might have noticed that, you know, the vest isn't joined. And that's so he can bend forward a little bit more. So you can see right there, he goes down a little bit more than he would if it was one piece. Is it worth doing that? I really don't know. I mean, I guess it doesn't really hurt that much. It does look a little bit weird, but you do get that a little bit extra going forward. Going back, you know, it's pretty good. It could help him look up a lot better, though he looks a little bit weird with his chest coming out that much. Arms go up about that high, and it's not because of the shoulder piece. It's just that's as high as the arms go, and that kind of sucks. Would be a little bit cooler if it just went up just at least to make it straight, maybe just a little bit more. But, you know, not that big of a deal. He does have upper arm rotation, double jointed elbows, which work really good, and a ball jointed hand, which you can pop these hands off and change them with the extra ones the Green Ranger came with. They are the same gloves, so everything will match.
Just wanted to cut in here really quick because I am in the middle of editing this, and I noticed I forgot to mention, but the lower arm part here does turn, so yeah.
Just wanted to point that out. He does have a waist rotation that goes all the way around. Mine was a little bit hard at first, so I kind of had to force it a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. It didn't feel like it was going to break. Otherwise, I would have just waited and gotten something to heat it up and loosen it up there. But no, it moves really good now. The legs kick up about that high, which isn't that bad. They don't really kick back at all. He does have double jointed knees, and he does have a boot cut right here. He can't really move his foot forward. The plastic kind of gets in the way from right there. He does move back really good, and he does have a kind of pivot, though it's not the best. It pivots from the back. I don't know. It's weird. It's It's weird. It works, though, so that's all that really matters. If you hear any noise in the back, that would be my dog sleeping, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, overall, I think it's a pretty solid figure. I do wish that the gold on here was painted more like the gold on the helmet and on the arms here, because you can see this is painted gold. It's shinier, and then this is a duller color. I wish that they had at least maybe done a little bit of a highlight on the inside or something to make it pop out a little bit more. I know it's I want to say the gold color is right. It's just that the plastic being like, okay, let me put it this way. All the white is a dull color. I like it. It makes it look good. The gold, shiny, makes it look good. And the vest, if it was the same dull color as the figure, I think would have been it would have been a lot better looking. Though the shininess is nice on the black, the gold, it just feels too flat for me. I don't know. Not flat, but like too plastic. That's just my opinion on that. But otherwise, the figure is pretty awesome. Let's get into some comparisons so we can finish up this review. So here we have the White Ranger standing next to its green counterpart. And you can see what I meant about the gold. The gold on Green Ranger is pretty much the same as the gold on the helmet, and it makes it look good. Everything looks, I guess, even. It's nice. And I think it would have looked really nice on White Ranger, though it does feel, I have to double check, but it does look show accurate, the color of it. It's just, I don't know, something about it doesn't seem right. I don't know if that's just me, but either way, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a really good figure. And you know, if they have to save the money by molding the gold in and not painting it, go ahead. I'm fine with that as long as we get the figure. And you know, he came with Saba, so that's awesome. Though I would have preferred it if these two came with the sword and shield for the Megazord, or a deluxe version with the Tiger Zord and Dragon Zord. That would have been awesome. Anyways, the figure itself stands about 7. Ooh, how tall is that? 7 3/4, somewhere around there, and that's 17. What's that, millimeters? Right. So he is pretty tall. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Spider-Man. You can see he is definitely a lot bigger. You can maybe get away with it because he is technically in a suit, in boots. So he would be, you know, the Rangers would be a little bit bigger, though they don't look that much bigger when they're in the suits because it's not like it's a armored suit or anything, but still, you might be able to get away with it in some shots, angle things right. Really quick, I want to do a comparison with a Figuarts. This is the unofficial Sentai Akiba Ranger, Red Ranger, and he is about to fall over. I'm trying to do this one-handed, because I bumped the camera when I used my other hand, as you just saw. Yeah, he's definitely a lot shorter. He's going to be more around the same size as the Figuarts Rangers, so they don't really mix well. And lastly, because I still have it here next to me, the DC designer Joker actually scales in really well. So I know they're doing that crossover in the comic books with the Power Rangers and DC. You have any DC designer figures, they will scale pretty much perfectly with the Power Rangers. That's awesome. Articulation on some of those figures, like this Joker, may not be that great, but you can have them sitting around with them, and that's pretty cool to me. So overall, I am really happy with these figures. I'm not going to do a review on the other individual Mighty Morphin figures, so I might start reviewing more of the other Power Rangers as they come out. I know I'm going to do one for the Build-A-Zord Megazord, so look out for that. $20 for it is not a bad price point, though I do wish we could have gotten like some deluxe version with the Tiger Zord, maybe in the future or something. The shield for the Megazord, sword. I don't know. That's just me. I wish it had its weapons. Other than that, definitely try and pick this one up. I believe it's 2 per case, so do not pay scalper prices, especially on eBay right now. They're ridiculous, like 50 to 80 bucks for White Ranger. He comes 2 per case. They had 2 of him where I went and picked this one up. So yeah, don't be swindled. Other than that, great Ranger, definitely recommend it. You know, these figures, a lot like Marvel Legends, they're a little bit taller than them. I do kind of wish they were more the same size. I'm not going to complain that it's bigger though, because it is nicer. It's better than the 5 1/4 inch ones. I believe that's the height that we were getting. You know, we had the movie figures that were available only at Toys R Us, and they look good. They were all right, but you know they were getting hard to find. I know they re-released them in the end. Like Pink Ranger was the hardest one to find, cheap, and they re-released them. They're pretty cool. They came with their weapons, which was awesome, but these ones came with pieces to build a Megazord. So, And like I was saying, it does kind of suck that if you want to get the weapons, you have to buy the shiny versions of the Power Rangers. I'm hoping it's Bandai. They've done stuff kind of like they just released the coin set. You don't need to buy the Morpher to have the coins, and they're pretty cheap. I'm hoping they do that with the weapons, and they just release a straight up weapon set for the Rangers. Uh, Another option that would have been awesome, though I'm sure they're not going to do, is do villains, Rita and all of them, and have them come with like one weapon each. Get some putties out there. That would be freaking awesome. Release the Thunder Megazord and the maybe Titanus. I don't really know how that would work, but definitely would be awesome if they released the Thunder Megazord and the Ninja Megazord and basically all the MMPR Megazords that we don't have here. Even if they're like a premium $30, I will pay for that for an action figure version that's as good as the Build-A-Figure, if probably a little bit better. Make it a little bit better. It does have its issues. Check that review out when it comes out. But yeah, that's pretty much my review for this guy here. Don't got really nothing else to say, so thank you for watching. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.